Is going on, Brownie Bros? It is Big Time Brownie, your coach of the Green Bay Yampers, back for week 5 of the UPA Showdown Division. We are currently 3-1, and we're coming up against the 4-0 Rose City Roselias. Full disclosure, this match actually happened about 2 weeks ago. Again, work's been insane, so I apologize for the lack of uploads. This week, I'm really going to try to do multiple uploads, including this match, and then next week's UPA match. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'm going to try to start the Nuzlocke again, and hopefully stream a little bit this week, so we'll see. Take 1,000 for me trying to be a content creator again. But as I said, we are taking on the undefeated Rose City Roselias. And looking at their team, you can see they have Abra, Babero, Clefable, Mega Gallade, Kyurem, Mandibuzz, Melmetal, Rhyperior, Rotom Heat, Tentacruel, and Whimsicott. They aren't undefeated. They have a really, really threatening team. I was extremely scared of, Melmetal and Mega Gallade and Kyurem. Those things just hit extremely, extremely hard. And then Rose City also has the Witch support, as well as some nice momentum gainers and Mandibuzz and Rotom Heat as well. Clefable also momentum gainer. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty scary team. Whimsicott also not something to sleep on. So I honestly, this is gonna be not a great video, I think, because it's been 2 weeks since I battled, so I don't really remember what happened. But I will pull up my team here, and these are the 6 Pokemon I decided to bring: Tapu Koko, Slowbro, Sceptile, Garchomp, Arcanine, and the Scizor. And, once again, we are bringing that max defense Garchomp with the Rocky Helmet. Basically, my strategy this week was to wear down things like Melmetal and Mega Gallade and sort of win at the end with Sceptile. Sceptile could basically sweep once everything got a little bit of chip at +2, and the screen sort of help it set up without dying. So I did bring max HP, max speed Tapu Koko with the screens. I bought a defensive Slowbro with Scald, Future Sight, Teleport, and Toxic with the Rocky Helmet. It has 80 defense and it's Calm Nature, because I do want to be able to take some of those special defense hits from Kyurem, particularly Freeze Dry. Future Sight and Scald are decent against this entire team. We do have the setup Sceptile, as I said, with Leaf Blade, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. We then have our Garchomp, as I said, max defense with Rocky Helmet for those double Iron Bashes from the Melmetal, as well as the whatever physical move that Gallade decides to go for. And behind screens, Garchomp is really hard to kill, and between Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet, any physical attacker takes just a crap ton of damage. We have our Akamaru or Arcanine here with Scorching Sands, Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, and Morning Sun. The idea here is behind screens it takes hits from pretty much everything, but without screens it can take a Banded Double Iron Bash from the Melmetal, especially at -1. It can also take an Earth Power from the Kyurem, so a Specs Earth Power from Kyurem, so that's the reason for that spread. And the Flamethrower, I think is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on the Melmetal, which is why it has that 84 special attack. And then we have our leftovers substitute Scizor with Bullet Punch, Superpower, and SD. The reason why I wanted to run substitute is because if I'm in on Clefable 1, I can sub and scout for the Flamethrower. Because he could be a Berry Flamethrower, which I wouldn't be surprised. Also, we can sub on a potential switch out into the Rotom and then hit it with a Superpower. Don't really have to predict there. So if we're on Kyurem, for example, if we want to sub instead of hitting Bullet Punch, we can do that and then hit Rotom with a nice Superpower, forcing him to go for Overheat, basically. So that's the reason they're lefties, just to bring us back some of that health. And yeah, so unfortunately, he did, as you can see, he did bring Tentacruel, so Scizor was kind of hard-walled by that Pokemon. But I think we had plenty to deal with the Tentacruel as well. So let's get into the match. So as I stated, he brought Kyurem, Rotom Heat, Melmetal, Clefable, Tentacruel, and the Mega Gallade. Unfortunately, with this team, I did not have any form of removal, so Tentacruel was really annoying seeing that because, you know, it could have Toxic Spikes. I also don't have any heavy-duty boot mons, so that was unfortunate. But let's just get straight into the battle here. I lead Garchomp because I feel like it's a pretty safe lead. We could bluff the Scarf if he's Scarf Kyurem, and, you know, we can get the rocks off if he's Melmetal. We can get a bit of damage there. And Glade, we can maybe force him into the Ice Punch and then go out into Arcanine and get him down to -1. And if he leads Rotom, we could get Toxic, but of course we resist Overheat and he can't freely Volt Switch. So I thought I can either get my rocks up or get a Toxic off. He goes for Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, he misses his Will-O-Wisp. And because he predicts me to switch out there, he goes for a Toxic because he's like, I mean, which is not a bad play at all. It's actually a pretty good play because Toxicking anything else, because obviously I wouldn't go into Scissors for Toxicking, you know, the Slowbro or the Arcanine would be really good for him. And, you know, if I am an offensive Garchomp, I think it would make sense for me to switch out seeing the Will-O-Wisp. I end up going for Toxic because I don't really have a lot to hit Rotom. I have Stone Edge on this Pokemon, but I thought if he decides to switch out into, like, Clefable, we can see if he's unaware. Or just getting a Toxic off on this thing is huge, and it will help us wear it down. So, I ended up staying in. I don't really mind getting burned because, again, this is just full defense, so it's there really to counter the Melmetal at this point. So he goes for another Will-O-Wisp as I switch into Arcanine, and he just goes hard Tentacruel as I double back out into Garchomp. So the reason there is because I didn't necessarily want it to be Toxic, and then if he went for Toxic, I couldn't be burnt at that point, which, you know, would have been decent, because even as I said, I don't mind if I get burnt. Having the Stone Edge and the Earthquake at full power is decent against this thing, and if he did double into Tentacruel, I would be able to hit Earthquake here. So I just go for the Earthquake, which does 33% to Clefable, and we can see its leftovers, and we can see that the Pointed Stones do dig into Clefable here. So at this point, I go for the Toxic because I expect him to either go for a Wish, or maybe overpredict for a Flamethrower. So I go for the Toxic, which was a very risky play, honestly. But I just wanted to make that aggressive play and Toxic this Clefable because I felt like it could be really good. And he ends up going for the Flamethrower, actually. So he does reveal that Flamethrower, so I can't just switch into Scizor freely against this Clefable. But I'm going to get up my Light Screen here as he wishes again. And, you know, because he has Flamethrower, we now know he probably doesn't have Heal Bell. So we go for the Reflect as well, and he probably doesn't have Teleport either. So then we go out into the Garchomp on his Witch, stopping this Volt Switch. And I think at this point he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, as I just go for the Stone Edge, and that does 28% because we're burned. But as you can see, I think he has heavy duty boots, but that does a good amount of damage, and he can't really switch into anything anymore unless he gets a Wish off. He does go for the Pain Split there though, so which is a good play. He takes some even more poison damage. I'm gonna switch back onto Garchomp and get some more of that chip off as he continues to take toxic damage. And at this point, he basically has to switch out because of the burn damage there. We do go for the Stone Edge though, just in case. But he does go on to Clefable. At this point, we are just going to hard switch into Slowbro because I really don't want to take damage now, and I want to preserve my health with the Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. We go for the Future Sight as he goes for another Wish. And I think at this point, yeah, we're just going to teleport and we can go out into Tapu Koko. I could have gone into Scizor there, but I wanted to get my screens up. So this was actually, I remember this very clearly. I was really tempted to go to Reflect, so he couldn't just go out into Melmetal and get a double Iron Bash off, so we could actually switch out right away with the Reflect up. But he does go just straight into Melmetal. I do get the Reflect up as he goes for Iron Defense, which is extremely scary. We're just going to go hard into Arcanine here as he does Body Press, so the Reflect is helping us out a lot there. And he does switch out. as we missed the Will-O-Wisp on Tentacruel, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I go straight back out into Tapu Koko, as he does get the Toxic Spike up. As I was mentioning in the team preview, like, that's really unfortunate for our team, and it puts everything on a timer, which is not good for us. We go for the T-Bolt, though, because I do want to get rid of the Tentacruel, and then we go for the Dazzling Gleam. It is doing more than half, so I'm okay with just, for now, just keep continuing to click Dazzling Gleam, as he does go for the Earth Power on our light screen. So he would have taken us out there without the light screen, but we're able to just go hard into Flick here, and we do go for the Substitute, just in case he were to go to Rotom. I want to go to Will Punch just to gauge what kind of set he is here, yeah, I mean, just because he hasn't broken our sub, we can just continue going for the Bullet Punches and getting some chip. And it takes him 3 Skulls to break our sub here. And here actually was probably my biggest misplay of the match. I actually go for a sub here, risking getting burnt. I don't get burnt, but that was really stupid. I guess just because I was bullet punching, for some reason in my mind I thought I was faster, which obviously makes no sense. It's a Tentacruel and we have like 0 speed investment. I think we have 12 speed investment, so that was a bad play, but fortunately, rather, we do not get burnt. I'm going to go for the Swords Dance here, because I know he can't break our sub with the next one, so we can get 2+2 Swords Dance, or 2+2 Bullet Punches off. Actually, I think it does break it, but he does end up going for the Haze, which is fine. And we're going to get some of our health back, but we're slowly but surely wearing the Tentacruel down. He does break our sub, so at this point it's time for us to switch out into Hodor here. As he does go for the knockoff, so good play by him, but we do get that Rocky Helmet chip off, which is nice. And at this point, I just get a free Future Sight off. He doesn't have his Mandibuzz, so it's nice for our Future Sight spam. As he does go for the knockoff again, we are able to teleport into Tapu Koko. And I believe I go for a Reflect here. Yeah, I do go for a Reflect. We do survive, but we're going to go down to the Toxic. So the reason why I went for Reflect there is because I thought he might switch out because the Future Sight was up. And I thought Reflect was more important at that point, just for Melmetal, because Banded Melmetal and Mega Glade really do a number to our team. I felt like I had enough between Scizor being at 74%, to deal with Kyurem, because Bullet Punch just deals with Kyurem, and with the terrain I can deal with Kyurem as well. So I thought it was more important to get the Reflect up just for those double Iron Bashes and to slowly, very slowly, get that damage down. So I go into Scizor, or into Sceptile here, because looking at what's left, I felt like Sceptile, it was going to be hard for me to get a Swords Dance off. The terrain was up. I didn't want him to go in and defog the terrain away, and I wanted to get my Electric Seed off because I didn't have any speed investment, or much speed investment anyway. And so I wanted to get this off and potentially just bait out the Rotom and go for a Rock Slide, because getting rid of that is huge for our Scizor. And at this point, both of our Scizor counters are dead. So at this point, Scizor can pretty much win, especially at +2. We can superpower this thing. I end up going for the Earthquake here just to get a little bit of damage off. He does go for the Iron Defense, which is unfortunate. He does double out into Kyurem, which is fine. We're just gonna stay in an Earthquake again. So that's really good damage for us. I thought about predicting Melmetal coming back in, but I figured it just wasn't worth it, so I went for the Rock Slide. I go for the Swords Dance here on what I presume is going to be Iron Defense. I don't know why I did that. I think just in case he switched out again, actually, so I could get, Earthquake the Kyurem pretty freely. He's at +3. We're going to go for the Flamethrower here, which takes it out at this range, I know. And at this point now, Scizor 100% wins. So we're going to go hard into Slowbro. I still don't want to take a Flamethrower, so I want to be able to get in Scizor very safely. So I'm going to go into Scizor, or into Slowbro and Future Sight here. And he does go for the Substitute, which is super scary. I go for the Toxic because I wasn't sure if he was going to be Substitute or Dragon Dance or whatever, even though I knew he wouldn't be Dragon Dance because Freeze Dry is pretty good against my team. But he is the Sub Roost set. But I knew that the Future Sight would take out a sub, so I decided to stay in there with Slowbro and Teleport, I believe, just in case he roosted or something. But we do get a free switch in, and I go for the Bullet Punch. There, he goes into Glade, and I do switch out. I want to get this Glade down to -1, so I can't be O-code by a close combat. And he does end up revealing the Fire Punch, and we are able to just go into Garchomp here. So I thought maybe he would go for a close combat there. In hindsight, I probably should have just went into Hard Scizor there, but I couldn't risk him going for Fire Punch again, predicting that. Again, Scizor is our win con here, so I could not, I couldn't risk it. So at this point, I think my play is just to let Garchomp go down, because I know 2 Bullet Punches are going to do the job. He does go for the Moonblast here. As long as I keep on attacking it, we'll keep it in range of a Bullet Punch. We have seen Leftovers, so we know he's not Babiri Berry. We just go for the Bullet Punch and take him out here. And after Rocks here, he should be in range of 2 Bullet Punches. We do get the crit. It doesn't really matter because he went for the close combat, predicting the Arcanine. I knew a Bullet Punch plus a Flamethrower would kill. We get the 2 crits there at the end. It doesn't really matter, but we do take down the Rose City Roselias and move to 4-1 on the season, which is really exciting. I feel like we're playing pretty well. I'm really enjoying this team. Marcus is also playing incredibly well, so it was nice to get a good win. It was a good confidence booster against one of the better teams and one of the better players in the league. Yeah, hopefully we can continue rolling into next week. If you did enjoy this battle, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. Make sure you go follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/BigTimeBrownie, Twitter, twitter.com/BigTimeBrownie. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. Remember, a video from Big Time keeps your life sublime. So until next time, bye guys.